Welcome to your December update for the COVIDENCE UK study. My name is Adrian Martineau. I'm the Chief Investigator on the project. Now, those of you who have previously seen our webinars will be familiar with recent findings from our cross-sectional analyses. Now, these analyses, as you will know, are like snapshots of data which people give us at sign up when they join the study. And in these analyses, we compare people who've reported no COVID symptoms before sign up against those who've reported symptoms in the period before they signed up to the study. And you may remember that we showed associations between a decreased risk of COVID-19 symptoms and three key factors, namely higher household income, vigorous exercise, and better general health. Now, the advantage of doing these cross-sectional analyses, as you know, is that they are relatively quick to do because we can do them as soon as people enter the study. But the disadvantage is that these analyses can't exclude what we call reverse causality. And this is best explained by thinking about a chicken and egg situation. So one possibility is that lower household income, less vigorous exercise and poorer general health could be risk factors for COVID-19 and could lead to susceptibility. But equally, one has to consider the possibility that the COVID-19 itself could have resulted in people having a lower household income or doing less vigorous exercise or having poorer general health because they've been unwell. So one way to try and tease out this chicken and egg conundrum is to do what's called a prospective analysis. And in this analysis, we disregard the data from people who've already had symptoms when they signed up, and we just look at those people who had symptoms subsequent to signing up. So we focus on the group who didn't have symptoms at baseline, we follow them up, we separate out those who still had no symptoms during follow-up versus those who developed new symptoms, and we compare those groups. Now, the disadvantage of this is that it's relatively slow to do because we have to be patient and we have to wait for events to accumulate in the group of patients who had no symptoms at sign up. But the big advantage is that it resolves the chicken and egg question. I'm pleased to say that the study has now been going long enough for us to be able to do the first of these prospective analyses. So we have a total of 9,051 participants now who've completed sufficient questionnaires for us to follow them up and divide them into two groups, those who've still had no symptoms, 8,890 of you, versus those who've had new symptoms, 161 people. And here are the results of this first prospective analysis, which is essentially what the COVIDENCE study was set up to do. And what we've managed to show here is that our original finding in the cross-sectional analysis relating lower household income to increased risk of COVID-19 holds in the prospective analysis. So this does appear to be a real association. Moreover, the association with poorer general health also holds. So those who report poorer general health seem to be at increased risk of COVID-19. But what this prospective analysis has also revealed are two brand new risk factors that haven't been discovered or reported by others, to my knowledge. The first is a very strong association with vaping, with an adjusted odds ratio of 2.95. That's an almost threefold increased risk if you vape compared to if you don't. Is that a vegan diet, that is a diet which excludes all animal products, is also associated with a very significantly increased risk of COVID-19 with an adjusted odds ratio of 2.54. When we look at protective factors, we find, as with the cross-sectional analysis, that we confirm this association between doing vigorous physical exercise and reduced risk of COVID-19 with an adjusted odds ratio of 0.61. So what's the bottom line here? What we can say now is that the association that we previously showed between increased COVID-19 risk and lower income, poorer general health, less vigorous exercise cannot be explained by reverse causality. In other words, we can say with confidence now that these three risk factors predate the onset of COVID-19 and they're not happening as a consequence of disease. What we can also say for the first time is that we've identified some brand new risk factors, vaping and veganism, which may increase risk of COVID-19. So where are we going with COVIDENCE in 2021? Well, I think the first thing we have to do is try and work out why vaping and veganism might increase risk. Is it something to do with the effect of vape on the lining of the lung? Or could it be something to do with the fact that people may share vapes between each other? Does veganism indicate that there's some micronutrient which is important for the immune response, which is missing in some restricted diets? We also want to go on and work out whether these findings hold true when we look at an objective measure of likelihood of having had COVID. And that's why we're doing the antibody test, which many of you have now signed up for and which are coming to you in the post. 2021 is going to be notable for the rollout of SARS-CoV-2 vaccination, and COVIDENCE is perfectly placed to provide insights into the factors that affect response to vaccination. We'll also be able to answer questions about how long vaccine protection lasts and whether or not one vaccine might provide better or longer protection than another over the long term. But these are all questions for the next year. In the meantime, I just want to thank you all for completing all your questionnaires, for all the time you've invested in our project, and I hope we'll continue to make new discoveries together in the new year. Finally, for those of you who are still waiting for your antibody test, let me reassure you that we're working hard to get these tests to you. You can see here that our post room is busy, and those tests will be coming to you in the new year. So that's all from me. Thanks for all your support for the study. Until next year. Goodbye.